Hey dolls, so today I'm back with a paranormal story time. Those of you who don't know, I am originally from Germany and I recently went to Germany to visit some of my family and I just got back the other day. Basically, my granddad passed away 2 years ago and unfortunately I didn't attend his funeral. I had a holiday already booked for a couple of days after, and I was told, don't worry Steph, you don't have to come, I'm sure that he would understand. So I didn't go to his funeral, which I still regret to this day, that I didn't go to his funeral. But anyway, his house, so my grandma and my granddad are on my dad's side and they both passed away. So my granddad is the one that passed away 2 years ago. My grandma passed away in 2007 and my granddad, weird story, then ended up being together with my other grandma on my mum's side, who is still alive. And my granddad's house was sold, and my auntie on my mum's side, so her sister, bought the house. This is a house that, you know, I didn't grow up in, but I was there, I spent all my Christmases there and, you know, a lot of family time. And I always knew it as my granddad and granny's house. So when I knew that I was going to Germany to visit my grandmother, it's still alive on my mum's side, I wanted to stay at her house, but she lives in like a 2-bedroom flat with my uncle, so there wasn't really that much room, so my auntie offered me to stay at her house, which was my granddad's house. So basically I arrived in the house and the room that I was going to be staying in was my granddad's room. The bed was the same bed, one of the wardrobes was the same. See, it had new mattresses on, and basically my auntie had told me that since she's moved into the house, obviously they've made a lot of changes. They have also kept a number of things that belong to my granddad and my grandma. And the bedroom that she is sleeping on was my uncle's room. Now, my uncle died when he was 26. And that bedroom was basically a shrine to him. Like, they never changed anything in that bedroom. So I personally believe that, you know, when they made changes to that maybe it stirred up things. I don't know. My auntie has a friend who's like a psychic medium, because my auntie was having troubles sleeping. She just had this feeling that someone was there and they didn't like her there. So she had told me that her friend had told her that my grandma, my granddad and my uncle are all still in the house. And I was like, great, I'm going to sleep great tonight. On top of that, she told me that basically in the back garden, behind the garden, there is a, there's woods, and back in the war, like, loads of people died there, and her friend, who's a medium, had said that there's lots of spirits there, unsettled spirits. And I was like, what? They're not in the house though, right? And she was like, no. I was like, cool. So I was already worried having to sleep in this room. So anyway, I went to bed. The rooms there have shutters on, which you like roll down and they close from the outside and they make the room pitch black. So I'd rolled them down because I do like to sleep in the dark. I didn't after what happened on the first night. But anyway, so, oh, sorry, I forget. She'd also told me that when my grandma, who's still alive, so her mum, when her sister died, she would wake up in the night and her sister would be standing at her bedside. And then when my granddad died, he would visit her every night along with her sister and they would stand by her bed. and then her other sister died, and all three of them would be at the side of her bed. And she said that my granddad would come every night in the beginning. And then she also said that she would sometimes lay with her arm like hanging out of the bed, and that she'd felt something like touch her arm. So my auntie had told me this as well. And I was like, great. So in Germany, the not all of them, but double beds there's like 2 single mattresses in one bed frame. So I was sleeping on the side closest to the door, which was my granddad's, was my grandma's side to start off with. When she passed away, then my granddad slept on that side. And I sleep with an eye mask and earplugs in. So I went to sleep on the other side of the bed. Next to me there was another, because I had a single duvet cover, there was another single duvet cover and like a day cover like on top of it. So I went to sleep, I did fall asleep, and I then got woken up because I heard something whisper in my ear. I don't know what it said, but it woke me up, and I heard like a whisper, because like I say, I was asleep with earplugs in. So I've got my eye mask on, my eyes are open, but obviously I can't see anything because my eye mask's on, and it's pitch black in the room. So I lay there for a little while. Also, I was absolutely sweating because I didn't want to put my foot out of the covers, or my arm, or my face. So everything was covered because I was terrified that something would touch me. So I was facing like, see on this bed, say this is where I'm sleeping, I was facing this side. So I then turned to face this side, and I don't know how long I was lying there for, but I was awake. And I heard and felt what sounded like the duvet cover on the other side slowly being pulled off of the bed. Not my duvet, the other one, being pulled off. Or like sliding off the bed. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Maybe it's just sliding off the bed. And then I felt something climb into the bed next to me. That's what it felt like. Like I felt the bed go down, and like as if someone was next to me. And at that point, I said out loud, hello, because I thought it was my auntie. There was no response. I lay there and I was shitting myself. So I'm still facing this way. Someone's just climbed in next to me, and I then feel something like this on my face. But it was not cold, it was warm. It was like a warm hand touched me like this. And I lay like that for what felt like a lifetime, until I finally got up the courage to turn back and face this way. And I had my phone like under my pillow. So after a while, I slowly mustered up the courage to take my phone from under the pillow, turn the light on, and take my eye mask off, to find that the covers were still on the bed, and obviously there was no one there. I am absolutely convinced that this happened. I mean, how can your imagination run so wild? I mean, I don't know. I'm convinced that it happened. So also what I forgot to mention is when I first arrived, my auntie said, oh, you can take your suitcase upstairs and have a little look around, because obviously things had changed in the house. And when I went into my uncle's room, which is now her room, I walked in there and I got a horrible feeling. I don't know, I just didn't like the feeling, and I didn't even go in the room. I opened the door and I closed it again, and I didn't go back into that room. The next day, I went to my granddad's grave. So this is the first time that I've been to visit since he passed, and I, had a cry, and I spoke to him out loud, because my auntie had gone off to my great grandma's grave, And I said to him, you know, Granddad, please don't like come and visit me because I'll be scared. So after that, I had no further issues at all. And since I've been to visit my granddad's grave, like I said, I've had a lot of regret not attending his funeral and things, and like dreaming about him all the time. Obviously I miss him a lot. Even my grandma that died in 2007, like I miss her so much. But it was like such a relief going to his grave. And the day that I left Germany, I went to his grave again just to say bye, and you know, yeah. So that was my experience. It was absolutely terrifying, and I really hope that nothing like that happens again. But yeah, that was that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you don't believe in the paranormal, you know, then just take it as a story. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys, anywho, next time. Bye.